In an age where TikTok virality and streaming numbers can turn teenagers into global sensations overnight, Olivia Rodrigo emerged like a lightning bolt from the zeitgeist. With her breakout single Driver's License, she didn't just crash into the charts, she exploded. What followed was a whirlwind of fame, critical acclaim, and Grammy wins. But as the dust begins to settle, one burning question remains. Is Olivia Rodrigo the true voice of Gen Z's pop era? Or is she merely a flash in the pan? A one-hit wonder riding the waves of digital hysteria? Olivia Rodrigo's arrival on the pop scene in early 2021 felt less like an introduction and more like a generational awakening. Her debut single, Driver's License, was a haunting, heartfelt ballad that resonated with millions, capturing the raw emotion of young heartbreak in a way that felt both fresh and timeless. Her debut album, Sour, continued that momentum, offering a compelling mix of pop-punk, alt-pop, and bedroom confessional ballads. For a time, Olivia seemed unstoppable. She wasn't just another singer, she was a movement, a meme, and a mirror for Gen Z's angst. But now, with the release of her sophomore album Guts, the landscape is shifting. The initial hysteria has subsided. Critics are divided. Fans are more reflective, and the industry is watching closely. Does Olivia Rodrigo have the staying power of a Taylor Swift or Adele? Or is she destined to be another early peak artist remembered mainly for one era-defining hit? The breakthrough, Driver's License, and the birth of a star. Olivia Rodrigo's musical roots trace back to her early career as a Disney star, but few could have predicted the seismic impact of her debut single. Released in January 2021, Driver's License quickly shattered Spotify records, hit #1 in multiple countries, and sparked a viral frenzy online. But beyond the stats, what made the song special was its authenticity. Olivia's ability to convey the vulnerability and pain of teenage heartbreak, wrapped in atmospheric production and lyrical depth, gave her instant credibility not just as a performer, but as a songwriter. The cultural impact of the song was undeniable. TikTok users used it to soundtrack their own tales of romantic turmoil. Celebrities weighed in on the rumored love triangle between Olivia, Joshua Bassett, and Sabrina Carpenter. Saturday Night Live even spoofed the track, cementing it as a moment in pop culture history. It was clear. Olivia Rodrigo had arrived and she wasn't going anywhere, yet. When Sour dropped in May 2021, it validated all the hype. The album wasn't just a success, it was a declaration. From the grungy attitude of "Good for You" to the acoustic pain of "Traitor," Olivia showcased impressive range and a lyrical voice far beyond her years. She was angry, vulnerable, sarcastic, confused, all the things that defined adolescence, packaged in slick pop production that nodded to the 2000s while feeling entirely of the moment. Critics were quick to draw comparisons. Alanis Morissette, Avril Lavigne, even early Taylor Swift. Yet, Olivia's storytelling felt uniquely her own. She wasn't trying to emulate anyone, she was channeling real emotions through the lens of a hyper-connected, emotionally raw generation. Sour became the anthem of lockdown youth, a soundtrack for those stuck in their bedrooms with nothing but heartache and a phone. Awards flooded in. Olivia took home multiple Grammys, including Best New Artist. She performed at major award shows, embarked on her first world tour, and became a fashion icon in the process. Olivia Rodrigo was no longer just a promising newcomer. She was pop royalty in the making. The pressure of the sophomore album. With success, however, comes expectation. And with pop's rapidly shifting trends, even superstars are not immune to scrutiny. When Guts was released in 2023, it marked a critical juncture in Olivia's career. Would she grow, evolve, surprise us? Or would she remain tethered to the teenage angst of Sour? The album did receive praise, particularly for its willingness to experiment. Tracks like Bad Idea Right and Vampire hinted at Olivia's expanding musical palette, weaving in influences from indie rock and synth pop. Yet, some critics argued that Guts lacked the cohesive emotional impact of Sour. Others questioned whether Olivia was retreading familiar ground without offering something truly new. But fans defended her fiercely. To them, Guts wasn't a retreat. It was a reflection of a young woman still navigating fame, relationships, and adulthood in real time. Just as Sour captured the disillusionment of teenage heartbreak, Guts attempted to portray the confusion of early 20s identity crises. And in that sense, it succeeded. The burden of being a Gen Z icon. Being dubbed the voice of a generation is both a blessing and a curse. For Olivia Rodrigo, it means that every song, outfit, and tweet is dissected under a magnifying glass. She's not just expected to deliver great music, she's expected to embody the ethos of an entire demographic. But Olivia has handled the spotlight with a level of poise that's surprising for someone so young. She's spoken candidly about mental health, industry pressures, and the complexities of fame. She's maintained a relatively low profile compared to some of her peers, allowing her music to speak louder than tabloid fodder. In a culture obsessed with oversharing, Olivia's restraint has only deepened her mystique. Her status as a Gen Z icon is also reflected in her influence. Fashion trends, social media aesthetics, even the resurgence of Y2K pop punk owe a bit to Olivia's artistic choices. Whether intentional or not, she's helped shape the current landscape of young celebrity, blending emotional vulnerability with polished artistry. The industry's next move: longevity or burnout. The music industry is notoriously unforgiving. One moment you're the face of pop culture, the next you're fighting to stay relevant. Olivia Rodrigo's challenge now is sustainability. Can she evolve artistically without losing what made her resonate? Can she transition from teen angst to adult complexity while maintaining her audience? The good news is that Olivia has already shown signs of artistic growth. Her songwriting is maturing. Her vocal performances are becoming more nuanced, and she seems deeply aware of the expectations around her. She's also reportedly exploring new genres and potential collaborations, signaling a willingness to push boundaries. But the road ahead is still uncertain. Unlike legacy artists like Beyoncé or Lady Gaga, Olivia doesn't yet have a decade-long discography to fall back on. Her career is still being written in real time, and while that creates excitement, it also means every misstep is amplified. Conclusion: pop queen or one-hit wonder? So is Olivia Rodrigo Gen Z's definitive pop queen? Or a one-hit wonder whose brightest moment is behind her? The evidence leans heavily toward the former. Olivia has not only delivered multiple hits, but she's done so with a level of emotional intelligence and stylistic range that few in her age group can match. She's already influenced the sound, style, and spirit of an entire generation. Her first two albums, while different in tone, both reflect a deeply personal journey that mirrors the evolution of her audience.